We use language to express our thoughts, opinions, observations, beliefs, etc. One kind of thought or idea may be, and in most of the cases is, followed by another kind of thought or idea, which may or may not be closely related to the former. Hence, when we express various kinds of thoughts in sentences or phrases, we have to ensure that one kind of thought flows smoothly and logically into another. This consequently necessitates the use of some words/phrases which link one kind of thought with another. These may be called linkers. We need to use linkers not only to write effectively, logically, smoothly, and lucidly, but also to facilitate easy and comfortable writing. We need such linkers for various purposes, the most important of which are, as learned from experience, as follows. 1. Enumeration. 2. Reinforcement. 3. Equation. 4. Transition. 5. Summation. 6. Opposition. 7. Result. 8. Inference. 9. Reformulation. 10. Replacement. 11. Contrast. 12. Concession. For this linking purpose, various words and phrases are used, most of which are adverb phrases or prepositional phrases. These are commonly known as conjuncts. You need to know almost each and every of them if you want to be a good writer. These conjuncts, as you've already known, are of different types. They're named according to what function they serve in the sentence. So take a brief look at the following conjuncts, and then carefully see the examples that follow. Enumerative. First, second, third, etc. Firstly, secondly, thirdly. 1, 2, 3. For one thing, and for another thing. For a start, informal. To begin with, to start with. In the first place, in the second place, next then. Finally, lastly. To conclude. Last but not least. There is still another thing. I want to make one final point. Another thing. One final point. Reinforcing. To give more of the same type of information. Also, moreover, above all, in addition, furthermore, what is more than in spoken English, equally likewise. Equative. Equally likewise, similarly, in the same way/manner. Transitional. To pass one type of idea to another. By the way, incidentally, now as for to in British English as to, let us now turn to regarding. To turn to talking/speaking of. That reminds me of summative. Then all, in all, to sum up. In conclusion, I will sum up by saying. I will conclude by saying that. Opposition. To give additional information about something or to define something. Namely, equal as, in other words, for example, equal eg, or e.g. for instance, that is equal i.e., or e, that is to say, or what is the same thing. Another way of putting it is, an example would be result. Hence, consequently, as a result, so therefore thus, somehow, for some reason or other. God knows why. With the result that. The result is, the consequence of that, was inferential. Else otherwise then, in other words, in that case, if so, if not, and that implies from it, you can conclude that. Reformulatory. Better rather, in other words, or a better way of putting it is, it would be better to say. Replative. To replace a statement made earlier. Alternatively rather, on the other hand, or again, or on the other hand, the alternative is, it might be better if. Antithetic. To show contrast. Instead it works as a replative also then, on the contrary, in contrast, on the other hand, by comparison, on the one hand. Concessive. These adjuncts signal the unusual or unexpected, or something surprising. Anyway informal, anyhow informal besides, blend of reinforcing with concessive, else however nevertheless, still though yet, in any case, at any rate, in spite of that after all the same equal nevertheless, on the other hand, even.